Hey guys, it's Candace, Jurnee, and
Summie.
Not you saying Summie when you was just wilding us out about calling me
no,
Summie.
don't call me Summie.
It rhymes how you would usually do with, you know what?
That's true. Summie and Fee do rhyme. I see schoolwork.
And so do Lassie. But, so, heretofore, she will be addressed
by
as whatever.
Names.
Exactly.
No shade. You know you out, girl.
It's the disrespect for me.
Yikes. It's the for me generation. For me. For me.
I mean, you know we say it still.
I know, but
usually we make fun
She
of
was
it.
saying it all yesterday.
Who, me?
Yes, you.
What I
be? Then who? You.
Ooh,
What I say?
is she ready,
Yeah,
y'all?
whatever. Anyway, so as we discussed in our previous episodes, Phoebe unfortunately could not stay on the Lovecraft train. So
Because she's scared.
I'm so scared. And I hope she listened to. But so we have Summie, who was watching and has completed the series and is still aboard the Lovecraft train. So how did you start watching the show and what were your initial reactions?
So, I started watching it because you was on my back about it. You told me, he was like, watch it during the day. And I was like, why? But I quickly learned that I only can watch that during the day because it get real crazy. But, wait, what was the other thing?
Your initial thoughts.
Oh, that it was crazy. Yeah. The first episode, I liked it because I definitely wanted to watch it because of Jurnee. I love Jurnee. Mm-hmm. So I was like, yeah, I know I'm going to like this show. But when I first watched it, it scared me a little bit. No, it scared me a lot of bit. Because I don't like no horror stuff.
Girl, you be watching vampires and witches and warlocks all the time.
That's not scary, though.
You hear that?
This was scary.
And what made it scary for you?
Yeah.
Oh, my God. I can't believe I just did that.
What?
The Phoebe.
You did.
It was scarier than my other shows that I watch because it was like, I don't know, it was different. These monsters popping out look like monsters. Like, it just...
No, she didn't. No, she didn't just say that. No, she didn't pull a person on us.
They looked like they could be like real, like for real.
Because it seemed more realistic for you?
Yeah. Like, when I watch my shows like Vampire Diaries or the originals and stuff,
because you don't think that Edward could find you and bite you.
Y'all love that Twilight.
And impregnate you and turn you to a skeleton and almost kill you and then let that 35-year-old baby come out of you looking 35 but still be Benjamin the Button.
Her name was what? Ramblin' Ding Dong?
No, that wasn't her name. Her name was Renesmee.
Okay.
Rosalind. And you just real ignorant.
I was close.
You were... None of you were close. Her name was Rosalind.
It was an R.
First of all, Rosalind is a black woman's name. That baby was pale.
But yes, it seemed more realistic, which is why it scared me more than the other.
It's so strange that you would say that the monsters of all things seem more realistic.
The
The
whole
racism,
show.
yes, was very realistic.
No, I'm saying like,
for me.
That's
I'm
what
saying
it
like
is
the
to me.
monster. I mean, all the other stuff, of course, I know that's realistic. I know it's people out here doing witchcraft. I know.
What are they
She's
doing?
saying that wrong on purpose.
Yes.
That's the family thing.
Yeah, they out here. Witchcraft is real. We know that. Mm-hmm. Well, y'all should know that. I'm just saying.
So
This one lady did tell me one time that somebody put a root on her.
girl,
See?
I heard so many root stories.
Yep.
So many. It's ridiculous.
Y'all stay away from them roots. Be grounded, but stay away from them roots.
And they say if you're a man, don't be eating every woman's spaghetti.
We will not go there, guys,
I'm just
because
saying.
I've heard a story. Ruined the nigga to this day. To this day.
So, if you guys had to choose, because we talked about the characters last time, but we didn't say who's our favorite character. No, you just said how much you love Atticus, but you don't really love him too much because you don't want to take him from Letty. But you didn't say who your favorite was. All right.
Letitia MF and Lewis.
Her.
That's it for everybody?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, I say my second
Okay.
after Letitia, MF, and Lewis. It would be Hippolyta.
Ooh. I feel that, but I'm a split between Hippolyta and D. Who you got? Just Letty.
There's no runner-ups for me.
Ooh.
If you ain't first, you're last.
Yikes. Okay, so who's your least favorite character? I think we all probably can say this on 3.
Montrose.
Ooh, I got a top 2, and they ain't number 2. It's
Okay.
Ruby.
What?
Ruby is my least favorite.
Oh my goodness.
And if you watch the show, you'll know why.
Well, y'all know spoilers are ahead, so I hope y'all have watched and caught up. And it's over, so you have time to binge it if you need to.
Who's
during
yours?
the day. My least favorite
thought we was all saying the same one.
I did think we were all going to say Montrose. That's why I'm shocked that she said Ruby.
I mean, he is my, because after when they
Don't try
found
to
him or
switch up
whatever.
now. Don't even try to switch up now.
No, because when I told her when I was watching it, I said he was,
Actually.
I didn't like him.
Oh, mine is probably Christina.
I was about to say, if we want to really talk about who we really hate.
Well, yeah.
But I think that of course, all of the Braithwaites.
Yes.
They're just.
All the whites, for short. The Braithwaites, sorry.
But I believe that Montrose is the one that I dislike the most because as I continue to watch, I don't know
What his purpose was?
Oh, my God.
You know what I mean? He definitely had a purpose. It was getting him there. But
That's true.
I feel like okay, so as a parent, which I'm not, but I feel like he thought he was trying to save his son because he wasn't doing a great job of it most of his life or any of his life. But I feel like I feel like he was playing both sides. And because of that, I can't deal with nobody that's disloyal.
See, about the playing both sides part. So I feel like with Montrose, it was more of a fear more than anything because I really thought he knew more than he did know.
He did.
He may. No, I'm talking about like period. Uncle George really came forward. Rest in peace. Uncle George came forward with all the info. Like when they went to that banquet and he was like, "I read the books. You a son of Adam. Y'all gotta do what we say." Shebang, shaboing. That was Uncle George.
Why are you?
She keeps.
Where are you?
Shaboing, shaboing. Ruby says that in the first episode, and I've been saying it since. But anyway, so with that, I just feel like I wanted him to have a moment where he was like, "Oh, I know this, or I know that," and I have never had him. Like I haven't had that happen.
He did say that George gave him the book and he read it.
I mean, yeah, but that's nothing more than what Tick can do. I thought like he had some prior knowledge that made him be like when they found him and he was all like, "What you come looking for me for, boy?" Like I thought at that moment that he knew so much more.
I mean, he just got trapped. That's really all. He was just a pawn. I believe from the beginning he was a pawn, and then he really got into an entanglement.
Ooh. Entanglement? Was it August?
This show was out in August, but
it sure was.
I think that they would not have been able to get most of the stuff done without him. From him reading that book, going through that museum that was elsewhere in that tunnel that was
weird
right under their house.
Technically not right under, but they could have went literally the back way. And
that
came around.
Elevator took them down there.
Yeah, but it took them at the end. They came in the middle.
When they came up from that elevator, they was home.
Oh, you talking about when they went through the water tunnel thing?
Yeah, all that. So I'm saying, but he helped them through all of that.
Yeah, okay. He did read the poem and help solve the riddle.
Exactly. Okay, so that knowledge was necessary, but what I'm saying is just the things that he did after that. Mm-hmm. Like I said, I feel like he felt like, and I can't really say because this is just what I feel like, but I feel like he felt like he was trying to help his son. Mm. But sometimes parents, y'all don't be knowing what y'all doing.
Yikes.
I'm just saying.
Parents. Ooh, facts. Okay. I think the whole Montrose Atticus relationship has been it was a lot to process, and all the emotions that we went through with the fear from the beginning of your parents missing, you want to find them, finding your parent. But you hate them. Yeah, finding your parent, and they super ungrateful. They did a lot to show us continually the trauma that
you know what really pisses me off about that, how was he mad at him
because you
wrote the letter.
Somehow,
like,
we say I was in a time of distress or something like that. Now she in distress. Like, you asked me to come find you. What do you mean?
So I just really think, and they just really hammered home, like, the trauma that black kids get from beatings. Like, if nothing else, Atticus was going to cry about being beat in an episode. And it's just like, I get it. And then once we learned that Montrose was, and for y'all that couldn't see it, he was gay.
He was gay. He had a very beautiful coming out party.
Yeah, it was lovely. I hated
Confetti
the glitter, but
and
everything was
everything.
nice. Once we found that out, it was kind of like, you are trying to force this masculinity on Tick that you feel like you don't have. And in that, there's a lot of things like parents will push you to do certain things that they can't do or won't do, and they'll feel like it's justified. Like, oh, well, I ain't really do this in school. Like, a lot of parents that's pressing their kids to get A's and B's probably got C's and D's, if not F's. But it's because they understand they missed their chance, so they want their child to be better. And instead of being honest and saying, this is not an area that I was good in, they just give them the pressure and the punishment without the information to understand, why are they getting it.
And stuff is passed down. I mean, we talked about this last episode, whatever. I can't say which one it was. About slaves beating their children, for their greater good. And just how, like, that's just passed down. So we see in one of the episodes when they go back that Montrose was getting, my God.
By Will Catlett, by the way, who, shout out, it was really good to see him. And he still looked good, even with that handlebar mustache.
Unfortunately, he was an abusive father. But
yeah.
Beating that boy with a stick? No, a switch. A switch.
Well, switches was a thing, Summie,
They were a thing. I mean, I never got one.
Me either.
But
I got beat with other stuff, and I'm no
I ain't
switch.
getting no switch. I don't know.
I don't think we were really of
My
that
grandmother
era.
wasn't old enough for a switch. So,
she probably was she a city girl? And I'm not talking about JT and Young Man.
and I was like, because don't say that.
I said I'm not talking about it. Now, we know that Sally was a street runner, but
Don't play with Sally.
was running the streets. That's all I'm saying. That's my girl.
Anyway.
But I'm saying what I'm saying. So, like,
It could have been outdated at that point.
not outdated. No, because
No, the switch as a tool.
no, my grandmother was familiar with that. Well, our grandma was familiar with that. So that's why I'm so.
Like, did she use
but
it? Though,
she was.
I'm saying. Was she aware or did she use it? That's what I'm saying.
I can't speak on that. But what I am saying is that she's from down south.
Okay, so I get what you're saying.
Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, with
It's in
Sally,
their
a city
arsenal.
girl. That's what I'm saying. So it's just like different. Now there are some other people that I don't mind incriminating that yes, they use a switch. But I can't speak on the house that I was raised in. She didn't use no switch on me though. Period.
So, Summie, how you feel about the whole Montrose Atticus parent aspect?
The same. I don't like Montrose. I said that when I first met him. He was just being
When I
When
first
y'all-
met him.
Y'all went out to dinner?
yeah. Like you said, he's just
Him and the girls.
ungrateful, just like these parents be. I just don't understand. You, like I said, you asked for me to come to you. I don't care if you was in distress. You clearly wanted me at some point. And then when I come get you, now you want to act all. But when I come around, you don't want to post up. Like it's too much for me.
Yikes.
Park yikes.
So, what? Because I know I got one. If any episode almost made you stop watching, like frightened you, if any. Okay, the most frightening episode, or the one that she was like, I don't know if I could do this.
Well, I'll say that and I think I said this last time as well. The one with the girls.
That's episode 8.
But it didn't bother me until a few days later. So
Why poor so?
I don't know. Out of nowhere, I was like, "It's them little girls." And it was like during the day. I think I took a nap during the day or something. I was like, "Oh no, what is this? Not a nightmare."
Not a daymare.
Yep, actually, exactly. So I was like, it's those girls. But I never felt like I was gonna start watching the show.
Yeah, I didn't have one that made me not want to finish the show, but one that like made my skin crawl, which is ironic because the episode I'm talking about is the one where Ruby was going back and forth being a white woman or whatever, and how she literally was like shedding the skin. Girl. Yeah, it was that for me. It was literally it made my skin crawl watching her skin crawl.
Yeah,
like no,
that's the one. When that first
I
happened,
like
I was
how
like,
she was being rebirthed every time. Like,
yeah, it was too much.
Every time. I hated it, especially when she was out in the back of that club.
Yeah,
and she was on that wall. She was like, ugh.
He said it gets easier every time, but
and that's a lie because it looks
that's
terrible.
a lie.
No,
that's a lie.
The last time when after she
I just
sodomized that
haven't
man,
been feeling that black.
No, I'm not feeling that black. Yeah, that episode did it for me too. It was just like so creepy. And I think like just the effects. Shout out to the special effects team on the show, but the effects were just so.
Shout out to the growth of effects.
Oh yeah! Oh my goodness! Don't go back and watch old movies. Jesus.
We watched Halloween Town, y'all. Because that's just a Halloween ritual that I have. Oof, probably shouldn't say rituals. I'm a Christian, y'all know that.
That's that Lovecraft summer.
Ain't none of that over here. But I was just like, this is so trash, so low budget. I love it because, it's just like nostalgic. But just imagine how some things could be now.
Yeah, so it was just that the changing and that feeling, like someone said, my skin was literally crawling, and I was just literally watching the whole time.
Yeah, because you could see how like it was under her skin.
The first one was definitely worse.
Job.
The first one was the worst. When you saw that eye, coming up through that, I was like,
Or even when, here it is for you guys. Even, should I say?
Go say. They should have watched.
Okay, I'm going to say. Even when we found out that William was Christina.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Oh my God again.
Oh Jesus.
And she was coming out of his back. I was like,
yeah. No, girl, you know what was worse than that? Episode 8. Emmett Till's funeral. When the two of them were sleeping together and she was shedding her skin while they were having sex. I was like, okay. This no.
Just that
no.
whole thing.
and I just couldn't find myself sleeping with a white person during Emmett Till's funeral.
Girl, yeah, well, I mean, Ruby was trying to escape.
I couldn't find myself sleeping with a white person ever. So.
No comment.
Shed your skin.
Shut up. But I guess we can go into the episode since we talked about it so much. So, how... My Lord. How does that make you... I mean, does that add to your dislike for Ruby?
What? How she was shedding like that?
Well, that episode where we see, in episode 5,
that she was choosing.
it's a strong
Yeah,
case.
because why in the world? I mean, no offense to if there are any white people watching, but
Summer, say your piece.
why would you want to wake up and be a white woman? It was that for me.
Well, Summer, why?
I mean, no. I get it.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, if I woke up and I was a white woman, I would.
Not us.
I'm sorry, but I'm gonna end it all because.
Now, see, I think it's different. I think if you wake up as a white person with black knowledge, like you knew you were black, you're gonna have a fit. But if you woke up as a white woman with no memory, no recollection,
okay, then I probably wouldn't.
Then you would just be up like, oh, okay.
I'm white. Like, but with black knowledge and I'm white. Oh, heavens no. No, God, take me now. I don't want this.
Not God, take me now.
Well, I think if you wake up as anyone but yourself, because what was that
That's
movie
true.
with Jamie Lee Curtis in that?
Freaky
Freaky
Friday.
Friday.
Lilo, yeah. I love that movie.
Me too.
Yep. So that to wake up and be someone else besides yourself is...
And she was just a traitor. I don't like. She just not a traitor, but she just was like. So when what's Letty? Jesus, that was so hard. When Letty was trying to, I don't know, I guess trying to tell her. What am I trying to say?
You can do it.
I can.
Basically, she was trying to tell her Christina was...
Yes. If she was just being...
evil.
Yeah.
Summer, I mean, that's just relationships, period. It's a lot of things that people can see and they'll tell you, but you see a different part of a person. And then in her defense... In Ruby's defense, at that point, Christina hadn't done anything to hurt her. And you know what? I went back and I was watching that episode because it was so creepy. When William was getting dressed, they were dresses. beside, and I never
saw
even
it.
was like.
That's another thing. Like it was so many points that we should have noticed
Now,
that
I'm
they
gonna
was
say,
the same person.
Trey called it out,
Yeah.
like almost immediately, and I was like, I don't know, and she was like, no, they the same person. I know it, and I was like, okay. So that reveal at the end, and it's just like it makes so much sense because in the very first episode, Christina was saying how even though Tick is a black man, they'll allow him into the order before they allow her because she's a woman.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like she understands that the power that she wants, we know she wants the power, but she can't get it as a woman. So why would not even assume? But sometimes it's so many things in the show are so well done. It's just right in front of you, and you just
missed it.
Yeah.
I mean, they don't always make it like a puzzle for you guys to have to figure out. It's like just
I know,
enjoy
but you
the
be
show.
so focused on other things that
Yeah.
you're not thinking like.
But they want to blow your
they
mind.
was the
though.
same person the whole time. While
They
I
wanted to
ain't see
blow
that.
your mind. They
They
wanted
did.
it to be
That reveal was what it needed to
cognitively orgasmic.
Cause like
Wow.
my mouth, my mouth,
Your
literally was
mouth,
like,
yeah.
it dropped. Cause when she was breaking out of him, or he was whatever.
Whatever was happening. Yeah. So as black women, all of us are black women on the show, and Phoebe's also a black woman who is not with us right now. Ruby talked a lot about black women interrupted, and she was basically saying how she wanted to be a white woman because life didn't interrupt what she wanted to do and who she wanted to be. Do we, as women, and now that I'm asking the question, y'all not going to go last, but do we as women feel like life interrupts us a lot of times, be it in relationships, education, church, any arena? Do you feel like as a black woman you can just be yourself without any interruption?
I feel like oftentimes, I would even say all the time I can be myself, not because of like, okay, so there are times where I feel like, all right, I'm going to dial it down a little bit, but it's not because of white people, because I don't have the issue that Ruby necessarily had, because I'm able to surround myself with more black people. Like, so my old job, I'm out of there, praise the Lord. There were a few white people, but the only issue I really had there was like changing my hair and them not realizing that I was the same person.
Girl, that's a microaggression. I'm tired of it.
Yeah, so, but we were the majority there. So I didn't feel like, oh, I have to act different here outside of it being like, oh, I'm at work, I can't be so playful, I can't be so crass. And then in my friend circle, pretty much all white people. Pretty much all black people, no white people.
Friends.
Right, exactly. So it's like, and then
you did have that one white friend.
Yeah, but she was on.
Yeah, we're not gonna.
Anyway, yeah, we won't do that. So, but even with her though, it was more so of her crossing into my world. It wasn't like, oh, I'm going into a whitewashed world. It's just like, oh, I love black culture, I want to be a part of it. So, and at my job now, I feel like that is, and even for Ruby, like that's where, like her being able to fit in, like that's what she struggled with the most. Like trying to get that job, doing everything she could to get that job, and she still couldn't get no job until she was white.
Yeah.
Well, she couldn't get that job until she was white. But I feel like the boss at my job, she's a black woman. So I work at a school now. So the principal, she's a black woman. The assistant principals, they're black women. Like, we have Caucasian teachers, but they're the minority. So I don't feel like in my world I have that struggle with that issue, because I'm lucky enough to be in a black-filled world. Now, if I step out of that, like the area that I live in, there are a lot of white people, but I don't do much in this area, so it doesn't really affect me. And that is a blessing that I will not take for granted. Amen.
Not amen.
I mean, once I really thought about it, once I just broke it down like that, I don't know, brick by brick, they all brown bricks.
Summie.
Yeah, you're next. Homegirl.
I was trying to, like really think about the question.
Read the question again.
Just one more time.
I didn't read it. I said it, but I'll do my best. Ruby felt like she couldn't be her true self. I hate that F and that T. Ooh, sometimes.
Yeah.
She couldn't really be her true self without being interrupted by something, be it because of her blackness. And I'm asking, as a black woman, do you feel like, who you are, who you want to be is interrupted at times, specifically as a black woman in any arena?
Sometimes. Well, because I know, so my first year of college, I'm on year 2, by the way. I went to a PWI, predominantly white school. Institute. Yeah. But now I go to a HBCU. But when I was at that first school, it was a lot of white people. I mean, it was diverse, as they like to call it. But
Girl,
in my classes,
when you put a drop.
Yeah. I am a biology major. I'm a science major. So in my classes, wasn't a whole lot of black people. Honestly, it was probably about 3 of us. And I was taking a lot of biology classes. And I know, for example, in my lab, literally there were 2 of us in there. And we always were together. And I felt like you said, you said you didn't feel like you have to dial your blackness down, but I felt like I did. Hanging around all those white people, because y'all know I didn't make a whole lot of friends when I was there. When I didn't really like the school, so I didn't really want to be bothered with anybody. But I did make a friend who was Caucasian, and that didn't last very long because no.
What?
No, she just was. I tried to dial my black woman down for her because I didn't want to seem
but she didn't dial her white down for you?
No, she did not.
They don't.
No, they really don't.
Yeah.
They don't.
She was like, let's go to this frat party. And I was like, okay, let's try. But then she was like, I'm going to hide the liquor someplace that is just beyond me.
In the booty
Where'd
hole?
she put it?
Yeah.
Booty hole.
In the booty hole. And
she decided to put it there. And
instead of the... All right.
Yep.
I've never put anything inside of myself that did not belong there. But I feel like it would have been easier.
Yeah. I know that.
Because you be doing that?
No.
I know. It's just chill, sis.
No.
You did sound like
saying,
you did
I
say.
know that. Oh, I know.
You do use them.
I mean, knowing the
anatomy.
Yes.
Yes, you are a science
It
major.
just would be a lot easier if you did it the other way. But I just...
So let me ask you a question.
Oh.
Hold on. So what did she put up there?
It was a bottle of vodka.
So she put the bottle up there. Was it a shorty?
I think so.
Oh,
that makes it a little bit
you
better.
Thought it was gonna be like a whole
some people.
I don't know. You know, people like fisting and stuff like that. So
yikes.
They say it just takes a little bit of lube. But that's what they say.
No.
I would not be able to say.
I don't know who they are.
Yeah, the days are not in this room, this studio. But. So I just want to know how did she take it out?
Is not.
Oh, I don't know.
No, the people want to know.
No, you're the people.
So did you drink it? I mean, not you. Did she drink it at the party though?
I'm underage. I do not drink.
Did she drink it at the party?
I don't know.
Yes, we know that she don't do anything that she shouldn't be doing.
I didn't drink it. She probably did drink it, and she probably drank a lot more. Well, I know she.
She's the only one that could technically drink it. It's in her. She has to be the only one.
Yeah, because I wish I would drink something that came from
sure
somebody's booty hole.
She didn't tell you. If that's how somebody's bringing alcohol to your party, they're not going to tell you how they transported it.
How did she sit down? Did y'all walk to the party?
She went straight to the bathroom when she went in.
White people, they feel very comfortable telling their business as soon as they meet you.
They do feel very free.
And I mean, from the time, because I met her through my chemistry class, and we had to work on something together. And
guys, this took a turn.
I met her. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. She we worked on something together, and then she just started, telling me her whole life story, and I was just like,
it's the disgust on your face for me.
Because that was my face when she was telling me half the stuff she was telling me, and I was just like, oh, okay, so how about these equations? Like,
she probably put them up there too.
She probably did.
Oh my
but
gosh.
I don't know.
Back to the point.
But yeah, I felt like I had to dial myself back, even though she was throwing her whiteness on me.
Wow.
And I just felt like that a lot of the time when I was there, which is partially why I didn't want to be at that school. I wanted to be somewhere where I could be myself fully, even though we're not on campus. Thank you, COVID.
You welcome.
even
Probably
like
what it said. That's
even
probably
when
what
we're
it
on
says.
our Zoom calls for class at my current school, which is Coppin State University.
Okay, she
All
proud.
right, all right.
Yeah.
What's your mascot?
Eagle.
Mm.
Eagle.
Bird to bird.
Yeah. Dove to eagle. It's okay. But yeah, even like we're on our Zoom classes, we feel like comfortable. Like I don't know, when it's just different.
It's just like a homegirl experience.
Yeah.
Maybe not a homegirl. Maybe more of a
It is like
community
camaraderie.
camaraderie.
When I say homegirl experience,
yeah.
because it's just like when you see okay, prime example. So I used to work at Johns Hopkins. I don't work there anymore, so I don't have a problem saying it. But there was this black doctor. She was an intern, but still a doctor. So she wore her natural hair. Mm-hmm. And one time she came down the steps and I was like, okay, hey, braids. And she knew exactly what I meant. She was like, thank you, girl. Yeah. But it was that was a homegirl moment. It's like if someone else got their hair done, it's like, oh wow, the hair. You got your hair cut. That's nice. Yeah. Okay. But, and it's still a genuine compliment, but it's like, I'm saying, oh, your hair looks nice. You got a haircut. But when I'm having a homegirl moment with you, it's like, I'm just saying a word, and the way that I say that word, because you my homegirl in this moment, you can understand it. And that's what I mean, like, by a homegirl moment. Like, you probably got guys in your class, too. We gotta dial it back with the N-word around here, but I'll probably slip a little bit.
When they're around, you said.
Well,
I mean, I get it, but I'm just saying, like, I don't want it to... I just said because you say homegirl, but the sense of community and camaraderie is very important for Black people, and we get a piece in that. Like, even when you're walking down the street, if you walk and you see somebody else walking, y'all make eye contact and they give you the nod, you like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Like,
and that's how it was when I was there. It was like I finally saw the one Black person. Like, we crossing because I went to Starbucks probably about every other day.
Starbucks.
I needed breakfast before I went to class. Otherwise, I was never gonna make it there. But when I finally saw a Black person, we would be like, yeah, what's up. And it's a comforting feeling, like knowing that you're not the only one.
It's a safe space in front of person.
It's a safe space. It's a mobile safe space.
Yeah.
And I can attest to what you're saying because I went to a PWI. I did not have the fortune of going to a HBCU outside of my home. So it was just like in certain moments, they are gonna make it seem like it's their world, and that you're in it. And it's never been like they come to our world. We are always a footnote or a feature in their world. And you're very aware of it when you are not around like people, like-minded, like-colored. Cultured people. So it was a lot of times at school where I would know, going in, like, when I go here, I know I'm going to see this, or I know I'm going to do that. Now, when I went to Bowdoin College, my major was in a lot of things that were African American, so I did see more Black people. But I mean, that was only like 5 of us, so we got to know each other very well because you got to take some of the same classes. But I also made it my point and my purpose to have a comfort group, like a group of people that I could feel like I can see myself in. And to speak about being interrupted, I think there's so much as a Black woman that we are interrupted in, and not just with white people, but we got to deal with sexism. And we have to deal with a bunch of different stuff within our own, women hating women and things like that. So I just feel like there are times where I can understand with Ruby's just like, I just want to break. And I just don't want to have to be dealing with this. And there's people that's literally walking around every day with no weight. They never even know, I have to think these things through 2 different ways. I have to think this as a Black woman. I have to think this as a safe Black woman. I have to think this as they don't have to do all of the mental, emotional work that we have to do. And I mean, I'm not saying that I would wake up and want to be a white woman or I would take that potion. I wouldn't do that. But I can sympathize with Ruby when she's like, every time I just want to be myself, I am interrupted by something. So that's why, it's a lot of time in the show that I'm just like, I hate that she's doing it, but this is how she's coping,
Yeah, but it's just like, at what point do we choose what is right? Because she saw how that little boy...
When she bumped into the little boy on the street?
I'm sorry. Y'all know I laugh at things that's not appropriate, but that little boy had so much popcorn inside of that container. Every time they threw him around, more popcorn just kept falling out of there. And he held onto that popcorn for dear life.
Girl, he had kernels at the end.
Girl, exactly. But just like from seeing that to seeing how Tamara was being treated, not only by like other employees, but by the supervisor or boss.
Yeah.
And then what just was pissing me off, he gonna say, come here, they say that y'all smell good. Let me smell it. Like, what? Sir, you get none of this brown sugar. Whether it's light brown sugar or dark brown sugar, you get none of this brown sugar. Get out of here, Whitey.
Go to the moon.
Or get out the room. But
Willow, please.
Or down to the whole Emmett Till situation, like I feel like I couldn't, and I have not had the opportunity to wake up as a white woman. So I can't say based off of experience, but I feel like within the deepest part of my heart, I can truly say right. Within the deepest parts of my heart, I can say that I wouldn't want to sit around and watch my people experience something and
remove yourself.
Yeah, it's just like
that makes sense.
So I'm going to act like I'm not a part of this. Well, she didn't have to act. She
wasn't.
She became not a part of it. She did have
to act because even though she was outside white, inside she wasn't, because when she first came around that corner, she went up to the barbershop, first of all, about to get all of them tossed. She went up there and was like, I'm Ruby Baptiste. She was telling them who she was. And then after that, it was just like, oh, you know what? Let me see what being white is about. Let me ignore them.
Getting free ice cream and whatnot.
Yeah, they couldn't even eat the ice cream.
You killing me.
So,
ice cream, that's what it was for y'all? Ice cream?
No, I'm saying...
I'm talking about Ruby. Sorry. No. I didn't mean y'all, but like...
That's what you want to do. No, it wasn't that. It was the freedom to do.
It. She didn't have to pay for it. She got it for free. Like,
crazy.
But what I'm saying... It just made me mad.
So my hot take is this. So when we code switch, is that us being a little Ruby?
Not at all. Because we code switch.
Not being a little white?
No. It's not about not being... So I think that... So oftentimes when we have to code switch, it is in school or a workplace if... you have to do that kind of thing. But I feel like, so me giving an example of me telling the doctor at my old job, hey, braids. I think there's just a level of professionalism that you have. Like, I'm at work, so I am being a certain way. And unfortunately, people equate pronouncing your words correctly, being professional. I'll even dare to say being respectful to being white, because if I'm in a customer service role and I'm saying, oh, yes, ma'am, how can I help you? Or, anything like that, that doesn't mean that I am
trying to act white.
Yeah, I'm not acting white. Like, why do I have, because I can enunciate, aren't you college? Shout out to Martin, or Shanae. But because I do that, that doesn't make me white. But if I am in a more comfortable space with someone, and not like room, but we have a more comfortable relationship, because there were other black doctors that I might see and they may have gotten their hair done, but I'm not like that with them. So yeah, that doctor, she walks through, but she's one of the doctors that actually speaks, or she says, oh, how's your day going? Or if she comes up to the front and she's using the copy machine, she's talking to me, not just, oh, it's no paper in here. Or she's more of a, it's no paper in here, where is it so I can fill it back up? Like, not like, oh, it's no paper in here, you need to fill it back up. And not telling me to fill it back up, but just demanding that it's done by telling me it's no paper in there. So when I create a relationship with that person, if I'm saying, oh, girl, I see you making moves, like when I worked in the hospital on units, there were way more white people there, and there were some white people that I had that relationship with. There was this white lady. We used to rap Salt and Pepper together, and it was really like, but that was because that's what she knew.
Music.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay.
Salt.
I didn't know that was.
Yeah, this is not Blue's Clues. Paprika was not in the building, but I was able to create that dynamic with her because I'm not whitewashing myself for nobody. So there were people around there that did not speak to me, but people who knew that they needed to come to me correctly and come to me respectfully. And there are some people. Now she never overstepped her boundaries. The white woman that I'm talking about right now, because I feel like some people, they try to meet you at your blackness, and it is in a very disrespectful way. She did hers correctly for me.
Okay.
And I was able to have that kind of relationship with her. So if there were, I don't feel like I was in that, oh, hey, just saying the word thing, like that phase when I was in the hospital years ago. But I feel like I still had a certain level of myself that I was bringing to the workplace.
In spite of that.
Exactly. So I don't think that I remember where I was when I started this.
Well, yes.
But that's it. Yeah. So I don't think that code switching is a level of what Ruby is doing. I just feel because I'm just not being white. Like, that's just it for me.
Okay, and I understand that on a very physical level, but the thing about the professional world is a lot of the standards have been mandated by white people, and by that, because there's a lot of very black establishments or very black environments that don't have, like you said, these standards are not white exclusive. There's black businesses that want you to dress nicely and speak well and things like that, but for some reason, people have equated that with white culture.
When you can speak right, when you can read, you one of them reading niggas, because we were never allowed to read. So that's the thing about it. Like, once again, everything can be taken back to slavery.
It's true.
So
it's white people's fault.
Because I was here, I personally wasn't born here, but because my people were born here and we were taught, or not taught really, but learned their language, their dialect, their words to read, all of that, then I guess maybe I can see why knowing how to do certain things is looked at as white, but why can't I just be educated? Like, why can't I say, like, the Ellen salmon is not salmon, it's salmon.
Oh my gosh.
The G and it's just like lasagna. Saying the G in lasagna. It's not. You don't say it.
You don't use them.
Exactly. But so that's what I'm saying. Like, it's not about actually. It's not about the physicality, as you say. That's not what I'm saying when I'm saying I'm just not being white. Is what I'm saying is I'm talking and I'm pronouncing my words correctly, or I am being kind, or I'm being professional. That does not make me white. But if I'm with my homegirl and you see me acting a different way, like, it's people at church that'll see us and it's like, oh, y'all got this going on, but you don't do that. We in church and we not there, so no, I'm not doing that with you.
Yeah, everything don't fit.
But that don't mean like, oh, we sinners because we kicking and having a good time over here, and I'm only a saint when I'm around y'all. No, like, I'm myself, but I'm having a moment with someone, and so I don't think that me having my moment makes me someone else. Now, if I was to not do that around any white people at all, like, it was for sure white people around when I'm like, oh, hey girl, I see you. Now, if I'm like, oh, it's white people around, oh girl, you look nice, then I would feel like I am whitewashing myself. But if I'm doing it and it's like, it doesn't matter who's around, then I don't feel like I'm changing. But because I'm not giving it to you because we don't have that, I don't think that that's the same thing. You get, that's like, so that's why I don't equate those to be the same thing for me.
Yeah. No. But no, when I say, because I said that doesn't make you seem quote unquote white, but I was saying it because, like, not because I think that, but societally, people really equate the good things with white things. Like, even down to different genres of music. When I came back from school, my mother was like, "Oh, you doing all this white stuff? You wearing shorts and Uggs, white? You doing?" I said, "That is not
comfortable.
It's
though,
not
because
white. It's climate. Like a lot of things are not like we equating to certain things have nothing to do with that.
It's like sleeping with one leg out of your blanket.
It is. And then
just
people
how
need
it
to
is.
understand certain body parts get warmer or colder than others.
Yes.
Like I don't know why they don't get that. But anyway, so like my legs are normally fine.
But my feet might be cold.
Exactly. So, it's certain things that when I came back or like music I'm listening to or bands that I had got into. And half of the stuff, honestly, half of the white music I've learned has been like through movies. And me and Summer really was going in on Rock Band at one point of our life. And most of them songs that I know, like when they play them, I know them that way. And I can sing my heart out to that just like I can rap my heart out to any other song that I know. But I think having duality for a lot of people doesn't translate well. Because black people that don't understand that you can be multifaceted feel like, why are you trying to be
switching
like,
up?
yeah, like,
or
why?
You trying to be white.
Exactly. And I'm just like, and I got sick of hearing it. Like, I hate that people equate intelligence with whiteness. It's sick, it's disgusting, and I despise it because there's so many black people that are way more intelligent than white people. And we're on their turf.
We
so
practically taught ourselves to read.
We did. Ain't no practically. And
I'm sure there was some white person at first that was like,
oh,
no,
right.
that's not how you
I have since now, I be praying that if I'm going to have to deal with or interact with white people, I hope it's those with abolitionist blood and not those with oppressor blood. Because, it's very different. There's white people that really held it down for us as black people during the freedom rides, during the sit-ins, civil rights, slavery, all of that stuff. We had so many white allies. So I just hope that I have the privilege of having people like that in my life or in my circle or around that can understand and see me for my differences, but can appreciate me as a person and also help me with what, their privilege is to make sure that we stay and maintain our equality. But yeah, you got anything to add before?
No.
Okay.
You hit it.
You hit it. Boop.
This show is so good and we have so much to talk about it that we're going to just stop this here, put a pin in it, and come back.